Hey everybody, Superfluous Jay here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and today we're going to Dres, and like we did for Moho, we have set up a maneuver node on the Kerbal National Space Station just to kind of get an idea of how we're going to get there. And how we're going to get there is we are going to, if we go back here, we're going to be launching this way in 19 days. So what I want to do here is I want to launch from Kerbal Space Center when it's somewhere around here. I don't know exactly when, and get a kind of a orbit like this. Like use up all our fuel to have an orbit like this, so that we can burn at the periapsis and head it off this way. That's the idea. I don't know exactly when we want to launch, but I'm thinking, here-ish maybe. I really don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll do a couple launches to find out. But we need a launch site somewhere on or near the equator, and it needs to be somewhere that we can that we can get this launch. So let's go into our tracking station here and see which place we want to launch from. We're currently at Nye Island from the launch last time, and I'm not against launching from Nye Island again, but I mean, we did just do that. And also the Kerbal National Space Station doesn't go directly over Nye Island, so that would be kind of lame. Looks like KSC is the right place to launch from. So let's go ahead and get KSC let's see, where's the Kerbal National Space Station? There it is. Let's get the KSC over here, which it actually, no, it's not. It needs to go all the way around because it's right here right now. So let's go ahead and warp this guy around. This mission is merely going to send a probe to Dres. It's going to do a flyby. It's going to grab a bunch of science, and then that's it. Nothing major is going on. The whole purpose of this is to get the Dres science. So we'll try a launch from here, and we'll see how good and or bad this is. Let's go ahead and exit out. This is also practice for future launches to kind of see where we want to launch from. Never really done it this way, the direct launch sort of thing. But I mean, I guess I have done it. I just haven't done it recently enough to know. I think I probably started with the letter D. Dres flyby. Look at that. There it is. Very simple looking ship. Let's go ahead and launch it. And I should mention that much like the Minmus ship that we just launched, this is basically untested. It's also basically a flying dart. It's going to go very, very fast. It has gimbaling, which is possibly the only thing that's going to save it. It also probably should have been thrust limited. We're definitely going to be we're gonna, let's just revert this thing to vehicle assembly. It should have been thrust limited. I didn't even think about that when I was doing it. So we'll slap a thrust limiter on here, and I'll be right back. Okie doke, let's try this again. T and space. Yes, this sounds a little bit better. I thrust limited this thing to 0.3, 0.335, 33.5, whatever you want to say it, percent. And then also used in the Better SRBs mod, the SRB loadout that starts at 154% and then slowly works its way down to 86%. That way we'll get a good thrust off the start, and then it'll peter out as we climb and don't want as much thrust as we're going sideways. I'm giving this thing quite a bit of sideways, even though our apoapsis isn't even 20 yet. The goal here is to not have that problem where our apoapsis gets like into the 40s and 50s and 60s, and we can barely keep it down to 30. So we're a little bit low on the apoapsis for this kind of angle, but I think it'll be fine, especially because we're going a lot slower than we were last time with our 1/3 thrust. So this is looking pretty good. I'm basically about 10 degrees lower than I would normally be at this point, and I think that's totally fine. So just kind of tapping my way down here. It doesn't really matter that much. The big question here is what it's going to look like when we're done burning. And I think I'm going to just keep it pegged kind of right here. And we'll watch this. We can go into... set this as our target and kind of look at what we're looking at. Make sure nothing's burning. Well, burning, like, obviously it's burning. Make sure nothing is exploding, I guess is probably the right way to say it. And our fairing is getting hot, but we're almost out of fuel. So I think we're going to be fine. We'll see if that's true or not in a second when we actually do run out of fuel, which has just happened now. And yeah, we're fine. Let's see how this orbit looks. It's not too bad. It looks, though, like we actually want to launch slightly before. So let's go ahead and revert and to vehicle assembly, because we want to put the thing on the pad fresh at the launch. And then we will we'll back out here. Go to the tracking station. And time warp to about here. Yeah, about here-ish, give or take. There we go. And let's try this all over again from scratch. And there we go. Okay, let's get this thing tilted over here. I guess there's really no reason to watch this. The only thing you would see is if I happen to fail. And I'm hoping I don't fail. So if I do, I'm just going to have to relaunch it again. So there's nothing much to see. So I'll meet you when we got our orbit back again. And just to show you here, it's looking pretty good. Our periapsis is getting very close to this maneuver node. So close that I think I'm going to try to tilt it a bit. Yeah, that's about as good as you can really expect. Let's go ahead and just lock this thing to prograde until we are out of the atmosphere. Luckily, it seems aerodynamically stable forward, or it accepts my input. I don't know which one. The fairing is red hot, so let's ditch it. Let's also hit X to kill our thrust and ditch that SRB. Let's extend our solar panels, so those look good. And then out here at our apoapsis, let's give ourselves a little bit of a push upwards. Can we move our periapsis? That's actually a question too. Looks like we can. Oh, come on. Let me actually... Wow. Okay, the game hates me. Is it because we don't have communications? It's because we don't have communications. Okay, that's fine. Let's get communications back. I really wish that there was some indication that that was what the problem was, because I keep getting flustered by it. Okay, that's a pretty good time there. That puts our periapsis right about the same time, same place that the other periapsis would be. So let's go ahead and aim at this maneuver node. Let's be totally happy with that. And I'll warp to it. And that should be perfectly fine. And it is. Okay, so now let's go ahead and Let's see. We want to. Let's try this. Let's just do this and see if it works. Dres. Okay, we created a maneuver. It seems reasonable. 1040. Let's go ahead and refocus on our ship here. It's nice that that goes right in the way. Yeah, it puts it right at our periapsis and sends us off. That's basically perfect. It's 18 days away. There is literally nothing else to do. So let's warp to it. Oh, the Sentinel, we've mapped some things. We should probably check those out. I still don't know if what I did earlier fixed that, but I guess there's only one way to know that for sure, and that's to go out there and look at some asteroids and see what they look like. Maybe we'll do that after we do this here. There's no reason to be concerned about this. It should be draining tanks. Yeah, it's draining the fuel from these front tanks. The back tanks are still going. When we finish this burn, we'll have to decide the fate of those tanks. But we'll see here. Hopefully we'll be ditching them in our sun-centric correction burn so that we can justify stopping, turning, tossing them, and then turning back. That should be good. Let's check out the rest of our stuff here. This maneuver node does get us a very close approach to Dres, so that should be perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and focus our view here. See if we can actually get this to hit. What do we got here? We are closest approach of 82 kilometers. Well, 82,000 kilometers. If we slow down a tiny little bit, it's 81, which is perfect. Let's keep slowing down. Maybe we'll try a radial. That goes up, so let's try this radial. Doesn't really change it that much when you radial, so I'm going to just keep slowing down. 40, 30. There's our encounter. If we keep slowing down, that brings us in. And ideally, we want to come in and pass by very close to Dres on this side, because we want to pass it on what's going to be the sun side. So let's now speed up. Now let's use our radial to get really close, and normal. We need to go a little bit less normal. And that looks pretty good. 17 kilometers should be a nice flyby there. So there's that. It's a 647 meter per second burn. We are staging in sun orbit. That's perfect. It's 119 days away, which means we've got an Eeloo and a Joule launch to do before that. So I'm going to need to build myself an Eeloo ship, and I will be back in a little bit. All right, we are back on Nye Island just for variability sake, and you'll notice that the Eeloo flyby ship has one more part and a very similar cost and mass to the Dres flyby, and that's because it's the exact same ship with an extra antenna on it. The Dres ship was a little overpowered for what we needed, and it can get us to Eeloo. It won't get us into orbit around Eeloo, but I don't care about orbit around Eeloo. I care about flying by Eeloo. And the two big antennas that are on it will give us about 1%. What do you call it? 1% signal at the worst possible spot. So that should do it. So let's go ahead and turn on our orbital stuff, hit the spacebar, do our roll program, which needs to be completed fairly quickly because we need to get this thing turned over and going as quickly as possible. There's our little, we're going to crash here marker, not a big deal. Much like the Dres ship, there's no reason to watch this, so I will see you in orbit. And look at that, first try, our periapsis is directly below the maneuver node, which is pretty awesome. We also are close to overheating, but not quite there yet. Let's go ahead and time warp ourselves into space. Push that fairing. Pitch the SRB. Get ourselves some solar panels. I might as well extend our antennae as well. Look at that. Wow. Super impressive there. And let's get ourselves a periapsis that is not as deadly. Should be fine. Might as well get it up to 100, just for fun. Okay, then Astrogator, we're going to Eeloo. It's a 1457 meter per second burn, so we're actually going to have to ditch the fuel tanks here midway through, which kind of sucks for us, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It is, however, the very next thing to do. It's in 67 days. So let's go ahead and time warp to it. And I'm willing to reload if tossing this thing totally screws the ship up. There is no shame in that. There we go. Looks like these might clip the solar panels a little bit, which is sad. I should have paid attention to that. We'll pretend that they built it that way. What we're gonna do here is, as soon as this goes out, gonna toss the engines and then go. Hopefully that slight little pause there won't cause any issues here, and that should do it. Perfect. Okay. Now we got a 270 meter per second burn. We have a 1200 meter per second fuel in our tank. So let's go ahead and focus on Eeloo. And then see if we can fix this maneuver to actually hit it. What are our numbers here? 538. Let's slow down. That worked before. 529. It works again. Okay, 400, 300, 200, 100, and we have an encounter. Okay, get it right there. Get a nice flyby. Again, we want to be on this side because Eeloo's going to be over there, so we want to be on the Kerbin side of Eeloo when this whole thing happens, for two reasons. One, it will get us on the Kerbin side, which is nice. So we have comms if we want them for whatever reason. And the other nice reason is it's going to make sure we're in the sun. So we have that to look forward to. Let's go and try to get really close. Why not, right? Whoa, that was the opposite of what I wanted. There we go. 33. That's pretty nice. 274 meter per second burn. No reason to wait for it. Let's go ahead and add that to our window. And then we've got the Jewel ship to launch in 16 days. It's going to be fairly similar to these guys, except for it's going to be a little more robust because we're going to try to hit every single moon with one flyby. Generally starting with Tylo is how you do that. So I gonna bring some extra fuel, and probably these two antennas. That's probably about it, though. It might have one more fuel tank on in the bottom stage or something like that. I'm not sure, but not gonna do that this episode. I think this episode is fine right here. We'll do the Joule launch, and we will get these guys on their way to their locations next time. I hope you are looking forward to that. I am definitely looking forward to doing it. I'm Superfluous J, and I will, as always, talk at you later. Oh, and just so you see, we actually have found and started tracking a comet, which is pretty cool. It works now, basically, is what I'm looking at. And we got another comet here. I don't know if any of these are going to be stuff that I would want to try to connect to. This looks like it's more of an asteroid, so let's not bother tracking that guy. But we are tracking these two comets, and I think I'm going to try to encounter one, because that's what you do, right? Also, in theory, we might be able to see this comet from this guy if we look in the direction of Dres. So if we look, we find our target and look at it and go sort of north-ish from there. So let's go ahead and try it. I know I said goodbye already, but come on, this is fun. Okay, so where is our target? Our target is towards us. And north of our target is this way. So do we see a comet anywhere over here? The answer is no. The answer is an unequivocal no. I don't think that's it. I don't know actually what it will look like. Other than, you know, a comet, I guess. But I'm not seeing it. So, okay, well, there goes that.